Yeah.
You lead it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Come on, guys. Yeah.
Guys, don't judge. There it is.
I told you I was going.
Christ, thank God.
Say that. You got me locked in. Let me ready to go. No, I'm talking to her. You.
I was about to be ready.
Hey Donovan, you've had 3 tries and you haven't done it yet. What's it going to take to beat this team?
Let's start with making some shots. Let's start with getting some stops and making some free throws.
You've expressed your support for Cleveland over and over and over again and talked about how great the fans are.
1000%.
How difficult is it in Game 3 to hear the Knicks chants?
I mean, I'm from New York. This doesn't shock me. They do it in every arena. It's like Cowboys fans. They're just who they are. I don't think it's a Cleveland thing. It wasn't just us. You look at Philly. Look at that's how Knicks fans are. I was one back in the day. So, like, you know what I mean? So that had nothing to do with what we got going. Cleveland's the best fans in the world. I stand on that. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't affect that. That doesn't label who Cleveland is. I have nothing but love for the fans in Cleveland, and we didn't get it done for our home crowd tonight. And we didn't get it done, which enables the Knicks fans to go off like they did. If we get it done, then they're silent, right? So we didn't do our part. When we ran out, they were loud, and Cleveland fans were behind us, but we didn't do our part, and that's the result. Mm-hmm.
Donovan, why do you think that as a group, the shot making from beyond the arc has fallen off so much in this series for you guys?
Sometimes the ball just doesn't go in. We're getting good looks. Sometimes it just doesn't go in.
How much has that aspect of things affected who you guys, maybe more so tonight, were defensively?
I mean, yeah, you try your hardest not to let that happen, right? And then give them credit. They took those misses and got out in transition. Even off makes, they got out in transition. So it wasn't just like our half-court defense, right? They were getting out and putting us in different scenarios in transition. And when you miss shots, it gives them more of an opportunity. I mean, we shot 50% from the field, from the field, but from 3, that's not necessarily as much. But when they get going in transition, and then me, Evan, James had 5 turnovers apiece, that doesn't help. They were active, and we weren't able to control that, especially their pace in transition.
Jamal.
I know you're not really making excuses, but we're playing every other day, 3.5 weeks. How much does that fatigue or that just kind of games add up to sort of?
I mean, we did it to ourselves. We did it to ourselves. So we can't be mad now.
We're just message now down 0-3.
One game at a time. Let's get Monday and go from there.
You brought the turnovers on yourself there. What are they doing defensively? It looked like when Evan got into the pocket, they were really fanning out and kind of reading his reads and kind of knowing where the ball was going. Are they doing anything differently defensively to make it tough?
I'm just being active. I think they saw, like, remember, I think somebody asked me something about Evan not shooting as much in the second half of last game or not getting a shot, because the first half he was in that game he was doing a phenomenal job of making that read, right, and we were getting good looks. Ultimately, we didn't make the shots off of those. So now they made an adjustment. They saw that we were getting open looks, and they took those away. So that's, you know, and credit to him and Jay for continually trying to hit the open man. Like, that speaks to the unselfishness of both of them. But, you know, you give them credit. They were active. They got in the gaps. And some of it we just made dumb passes. So it wasn't all of them. Sometimes it was on us too. But that would be why they made an adjustment to Evan's playmaking ability the first 2 games, and it makes it made a little bit tougher.
What has Mikal and OG in particular done to be so effective just around that middle area, and how can you guys take that away for next game?
Well, they have length, right? So those passes that seam there, they're active. It may look like it's there, and then they get it. You know, you changes your pass, right? So instead of throwing a direct chest pass, maybe you got to grab it out here. Now the shot's different. Now the drive, it's a split second late. You know what I mean? So that's when they're at their best. But you give them credit, but watch the film and be ready for Monday.
Donovan, when you said we did it to ourselves, did you have concern about heading into the series about coming off 2 7-game series?
Not at all. I mean, we were up 20 in game 1, so like, if we win game 1, I don't think you guys are asking these questions, right? Like, I think ultimately we're missing shots right now. We had an opportunity to close at home in game 6, which would have given us 3 days off after game 2 of this series. We didn't do it. So everybody can point to the 3.5 weeks of every other day, but we had an opportunity to close it and we didn't. So this is where we're at, and we have an opportunity to get one on Monday and then go back to New York and get one there and come back here. So that's where the mindset is.
Not saying this is you personally, but I do want to ask, as a team club.
A very realistic Donovan Mitchell there. George, the Cavs, of course, find themselves now in a pretty unpleasant situation. They're facing elimination. You have been there yourself in your career, and I'm curious, having been in those locker rooms, having faced this situation, how does a team go about digging deep and finding a way to keep its season alive?
Yeah, I mean, it gets real, right? When your backs are up against the wall, you have two choices. You can quit, which I don't think anybody is planning on doing, or get out there and fight. And I think it's little by little, right? The Cavs are going to come out game 4 throwing haymakers, right? Hopefully feeling that, the Knicks are going to be like, you know what? This isn't our day. We'll catch you in game 5 and hopefully knock you out in game 5. And that's where you have to take the mental advantage and be like, oh, if we sense that, let's take game 4 and kind of wear these guys out and kind of go game by game. But the Cavs are going to have to come out swinging, and I think they have nothing to lose, right? You're down 3-0. You want to extend your season and, go out there and play like there's nothing to lose. And I think that's really kind of where they have to be at. I mean, I know it's discouraging being down 3-0. You're going to read, listen, and hear all the things about that, nobody has come back or very few have come back from 3-0. But, go out there and make history. That's really where you have to be focused on, and it starts with the first quarter, the tip-off of game 4.
George, thanks for pulling back the curtain there. Appreciate your perspective always. When we come back, we got a little more post-game analysis with George Niang. I'm Lauren Rosen. You're here on NBA TV. This is the post-game